And what are the, plans for you to continue to do this? Because, it's so funny. We've talked to people like Grande and Dolan Dark, and these are guys who, in particular, Grande left like stopped doing med school because he loved doing memes. Or Dolan Dark, I believe, got his computer science degree, but then just never really pursued it. And he's having a lot of fun, being a genius on Twitter and YouTube. But what about you? Like, where does this all play into your goals and your personal life?
I dropped out of college to pursue this, so I'm in the same boat as those creators. But I hated education, so this was my way out. So I don't want to ever go back to school. My goal is to build this up enough to where I can build a very stable career out of it. Obviously, there's not much job security with YouTube and Twitch, because channels fizzle out and die all the time. But my goal is just to increase my longevity as long as possible, because I really do enjoy this, and it's the only thing I've really found that I really resonate with because of the creative freedom. My biggest thing was when I was in college, I was a media comm student, and I had to do like a TV show. I worked for the TV station and did like sports games. But what I always hated was I had to work under someone, and I'd never had the creative freedom that I do for YouTube and Twitch and whatever. With this, I have just pure control over everything I make, and I can make whatever I want, which is, the beauty of YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, it totally is. And I relate to that so much, because when I went to school for communication and film specifically. And I remember having like a minor clash with my film professor over the fact that she wouldn't allow me to make the thing that I wanted to make. And this is going to sound like really selfish probably, but I thought I had this great idea, and her point was ostensibly like, that's cool that you have a great idea, but when you're making sneaker commercials someday, your idea doesn't matter. You just need to make the sneaker commercial that, the sneaker brand is paying for. And I remember being in the middle of the conversation thinking, I'm never making a sneaker commercial. Like, I would rather not do anything than do, the same thing that you butted up against, which is it is a weird thing where, I would have rather, and this is what I did do. I worked in the service industry instead. So I worked in restaurants, I worked in bars, and then in my free time, that's when I made videos and creative projects. Like, that to me was a lot more liberating than working in a creative industry, but kind of being under the thumb of somebody else making the creative decisions. There's like this weird feeling as a creative person where I'd rather not be in a creative industry at all than be kind of like the helper on somebody else's vision. And I don't know why that is. Like why do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't think you said this might be selfish. I don't think it's selfish at all to want to be able to make what you want to make. I think that's going to be the most liberating thing as a creator, is making what you want to make. At the end of the day, I feel like that's what's most important, and it's going to be the most fulfilling for you. I don't personally, I just can't work under anyone, like, it doesn't work for me personally. And I never want to work under anyone unless it's like helping like a friend with a project. I can't be just another cog in the machine, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. So, what are some plans that you have for building out a business so that you can be sustainable? Because, the AdSense, relying on that is such a tough thing for sustainability, because one little thing can go wrong in the algorithm, or, you know, something that's out of sight of your control, demonetization. And, you know, the next thing you know, you can't afford to, you know, buy your Totino's pizza rolls anymore.
Right.
Right. And Lord knows we need our Totino's pizza rolls. The thing I'm working on right now mostly is diversifying as much as possible to create more revenue sources, so that I do have that longevity. So I currently have the main channel, which works great. Love how it's going. But then I also have been working on a second channel, which is a completely different workflow, where I have editors that put up my streams from Twitch, which is another source for me. And I'm just trying to build as outwardly as possible so that I have other places to go if one fizzles out. And I think that's the name of the game, is to just branch into as many things as possible, as often as possible, and make sure that no matter what, you still have a platform.
And how much are you working
for me, right? Sorry.
How much are you working to
ahead.
do all this stuff? I mean, you're streaming, you're making your main channel videos. You must be working every day of the week on all this stuff.
I'm a workaholic. I'm working like at least 50 hours a week, at least. I live this pretty much. But I'm putting in a lot of time. And because I'm so afraid of going back to college, I've had many dreams about being in school. I think I have a phobia at this point. I'm genuinely serious. I've for about a month, every single night I went to sleep, I dreamed of a school, and I hated it. It was the worst month of my life.
But what would happen?
The worst month of my life was in school.
Yeah, well, you're actually there, and you were living the nightmare. But what's the nightmare? That you didn't study for a test, or you show up to class with no pants on?
No. The nightmare is being in school, because being in school means I can't work on what I want to work on. I again lose my own creative freedom, which is not. It's just the opposite of what I want.